Hello, this is Ariana Antonio for Java 2 14.07, and this is my week 3 project review. So for this week, we again continued off of our project from last week. Instead, this time we used fragments to pull the different pieces of the UI, the different XML files, so that we could create a third one that would handle landscape mode. So I'll go ahead and run my app really quick. Alright, so here you can see my list. I can click on one, and it still brings everything up that it's supposed to. And then go back, and I can put this in landscape mode. And I can click in here, and all this works. This one is still working as well. The only thing that's not working is the data retention. So if I go here, oops, if I go here and then, okay, it's just really slow, and then go into landscape mode, it didn't retain my data. I tried using the save instance state, creating the bundle in my main fragment, but it clearly didn't work. And unfortunately, I'm a little tight on time, so I wasn't able to spend the time figuring that out and debugging it that I would have liked to. So yeah, there goes a couple points there. But anyway, so let's see, going through this really quick. Structure, let's see, it's pretty much the same as last week. Obviously it's not displaying previously stored data, but it is checking for internet connection. It has all the functionality of last week. I did get the landscape working that was broken last week by using a bundle, but didn't end up using that this week, so I fixed something from last week and didn't need it this week. Obviously I still need a lot of work on the creativity. You know, this took a lot longer than I had expected, so I didn't get the time to work on the design that I wanted to. But I've heard next week is fairly light, so I'm hoping that'll give me plenty of time to go ahead and fix this up and, you know, maybe put a thumbnail here and then just the title over here and the username and put the camera on the next page, that sort of thing. So, and obviously the next page is a hot mess. So, yeah. So by next week I'll have stuff looking better. I can't promise amazing, but looking better. Let's see, interface or fragments. I do have two fragments. I have my main fragment and I have my detail fragment that handles that additional page. I'm using interfaces to communicate. I don't think detail activity uses an interface. Not yet. I assume it'll be passing back rating bar stuff next week unless we're using a different fragment for it. Anyway, so this one has an interface to pass back what item was clicked on the list view. List view functionality was working, not pretty, but working. User experience would be fine, you know, all the way up until that data loss in landscape. But at least, you know, it's still passing data back and forth across the landscape. So while it doesn't save the page you were on, you know, at least this is working, which I think is probably the most important part. And so yeah, that's data retention. And format, the code's okay. In my detail fragment, I had to do some kind of wonky stuff to try and set the data differently based on landscape or portrait, because it's passed differently apparently. So I don't know, challenging this week, pretty much everything. It seemed simple enough at first, you know, reading about fragments, and then just the inflating views and all that sort of stuff, that was fine. It was just the passing the data back and forth was a bit complicated. But once I got it down from main activity to main fragment, implementing back to main activity to details activity to detail fragment, that stuff was much simpler. Once I kind of got the hang of it on the first run. So yeah, I think that's it. That is my app for this week. Thanks so much. Bye.